Hi, Jacob Moya. I'm 19.
Hi, Jacob. Thank you so much for accepting to do this interview with me. How are you feeling before we start?
Good.
You feel good?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good then. So, can tell me where we are here?
So we're in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in my home, and I was born and raised here.
Okay. Who I'm gonna ask with a big question, maybe an existential question that I like to ask. Who are you?
It's a challenging question.
Mm-hmm.
So I am a young adult who is a New Mexican and proud of that, as well as my heritage. I'm a student. I love school and I love the pursuit of knowledge, and I particularly am interested in economics, so just the understanding of why people act the way they act and how we can be more efficient in that. So I guess that is a part of me, and it it inspires a humanity side of me that allows me to connect with other people that I wouldn't otherwise connect with, and helps me to understand the world around me better. So I guess I'm just an individual who has the desire to help other people, and to, even though I might not individually help every person, just knowing that I have the opportunity to help others is kind of what makes me me, and kind of inspires me to do the things that I choose to do.
What is your story?
So I'm young. I don't have a long story, but I was born here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was raised here, and my entire family, both sides, my parents are born, raised, their parents, grandparents, everyone is from New Mexico. So I have deep roots here, but I've always never really loved Albuquerque due to crime and just the economy inside of it that's just really poor. So I've always had a desire to leave. I There's certain things that I love about Albuquerque that I know that I can't find anywhere else. I love the mountains and the scenery. It's the sunsets are just unexplainable. So my culture is a really deep part of who I am, and it, who it's created me to be, being such a family-oriented individual. And I love my family. I'm one of five to my parents, and I have three brothers and one sister, and just my relationship with them growing up. I had my sister with me all the time, and then later on I had my brothers, who, after 8.5 years of just me and my sister, I then got three more brothers, and so my family has definitely affected who I am and helped create me into this person that I am today and who I aspire to be. And so that's my heritage. And then from that, I was homeschooled from starting in second grade, and I've been homeschooled throughout all of my primary and secondary, all the way through 12th grade. And I really am appreciative of that experience, because it allowed me to excel in the things that I excelled in, and help give me more attention to the things that I lacked in. And I believe that it really helped create me, and it helped me become the person that I am. And it's helped me to push for my dreams even more than I knew that I could have if I would have attended a public school. So from the age of 14, I enrolled in a local community college and was able to start taking college classes, and I was able to graduate high school with 88 college credit hours, which really sped my timeline up and kind of helped me hone in on what I wanted to do with my high school education. So I knew that I wanted to go to college, and I knew that I was really interested in economics, and that as a result of having this prior experience, it really helped me to find people that I could rely on inside of the university before I even got enrolled as a freshman. And so it helped me create relationships, and I'm just really grateful for that opportunity. And so following that, I currently am still a student. I finished my economics degree this last May, and I have another 2 years, a little less than 2 years, about a year and a half, till I finish my statistics degree. And then I'm also conducting research relating to poverty and individuals in Nepal and individuals in Indonesia that are, suffering due to their poor, state of affairs, and just their lack of access to basic resources, and how that affects their overall well-being and their health and their future prospects, and trying to get a deeper understanding of that and how their culture fits into that to best help them in the future. And so my goal is to, in the future, just be able to get my degree, and I want a PhD in economics so that I can go into research to be able to do econometric research, and my hope is to be able to help people and find policy measures that can really impact the lives, especially the lives of children.
Thank you. What brings you joy?
So many things bring me joy. My family is probably one of the number one things in my life that brings me joy. I also love competitive archery, so I love that. It's one of the things that I get to do after a long day of school, and I go and I just shoot for 2 hours or more, and just it brings me a peace, and it gives me a sense of purpose and competition, and it's just it's a fun experience for me, and to be able to travel and do stuff. So, but also my faith, and that brings me joy to just see that, how my faith impacts my life and the lives of those around me, and how it just changed my perspective on the world, and gives me not an anger towards the world, but a sadness that I have a desire to help others, and to kind of assist them in finding their way in life. And so those are the things that bring me joy, but mostly my family, and because I love my family, and they're a huge part of who I am, and who I am today, and who I plan to be.
What is your biggest fear, if there is one?
So fear's a strange thing. I mean, it's just, sure, sometimes you're walking along the road and in the dark, and you have a moment of fear. But my greatest fear, it's an interesting thing to think about, because fear seems circumstantial, right? If it's the daytime, you're not fearing the night. So I'd say my greatest fear is just not reaching the goals that I plan to reach. And I set the bar really high for myself, so I fear not being able to meet it due to just there's not enough time in the day, but I still desire to do that. And the thought of not being able to achieve those goals, it just brings something out in me that I would be so disappointed to not have that, and that scares me, because if I didn't have this path that I'm following, I don't know who I would be or what I would do.
So you talked about faith. Does it mean that you believe in something?
Yes, so I believe in a higher power. I believe that there is a God who watches over everything and is in control of everything, and that there is an absolute truth in the world, and that truth is not always known, but just because we don't know it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
So you talked about truth. So what is truth for you? What is the truth? What is your definition of truth?
So truth is, I guess, the most basic way of putting it is truth is the understanding of the world around us, and the way that nature exists and how things occur, I guess, is how I would define it in its most basic form.
And what is your truth?
I don't know that I have a personal truth. Like when someone asks me what is my truth, I don't believe that there's such a thing as my truth. I believe that there is truth and there is false, and there's nothing more. So when I think of the question of like what is my truth, I don't think that I have one that's unique, if that makes sense.
Yes. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Well, so what I know about this project is that, it's the search for the truth, and I don't know the ins and outs of what you're searching for, but I do know that truth is constant. It's, unwavering, and there's certain things like in politics, like opinions and things like that, and those are not truth. That's not related. It's based on people's opinions of, I like the color yellow as opposed to the color red, and things that, strike a nerve with some people. So things like that, and the things that seem to divide our nation, they're made up of opinions, not truths, and I think that it's important to focus on truth because truth is unifying.
Thank you so very much